Hello guys, it's 1 AM and for whatever reason a random Splatoon patch has decided to show itself, and it's going to be dropping on the 18th of March if you live in America and the 19th if you live everywhere else on the right side of the world, which is where the UK is. Either way, we're going to get through this patch. Let's go ahead and read it. There's quite a few changes that we have to look at, so let's get into it. Latest update version 11.1, releasing March 18th if you live in America, and the 19th if you live everywhere else. Starting with the Splattershot Nova is getting an increased speed shot velocity by about 25%, but they're not changing the range, so Splattershot Nova, its bullet's going to be flying now, 25% faster. That's actually going to feel really, really nice weapon. I wonder how that's going to feel, so we're going to have to give that a go. They've adjusted the Flinger Roller as well. They've adjusted the damage fall-off rate based on the distance for the vertical swing, allowing them to deal 50 damage to a 100 damage farther than it did before. So that's a nice damage buff for the Flinger Roller. It's actually quite nice. The Octobrush, really interestingly, I don't think it needed this, but it's getting a buff anyway, so if you like the Octobrush, and probably a bunch of you guys do, you're going to really like this one. They've reduced the amount of ink consumed when swinging the brush by approximately 10%, so it's just a little bit more efficient than before. That's actually quite a nice buff. Moving on to the Bamboozler 14 MK1 and 2. They've increased the movement speed while charging or firing by approximately 13%, which honestly I think is actually quite a nice buff for the Bamboozler. Gives it a little bit more movement, makes it a little bit more different compared to the other charges in the game, despite it already being somewhat different already with the tap shots that it already has. But I think, you know, a movement buff, I mean, that's always welcomed. I mean, we love movement, you know, that we love movement. I'm always going to be like, yeah, man, let's move fast, please. Moving on, Blob Lobber. I think this is not super relevant, but I guess, I mean, it makes it stronger. I mean, they've increased the damage by 30 to 32. Doesn't change, of course, like, you know, how fast it kills or anything like that, but like, you know, it's like damage that adds up. Does also do much more damage to a Rainmaker too, which is also going to add up, so it's like an extra, I don't know, 8 more damage every single time you swing, which is nice. So for the Dowser Dualies as well, Dowser Dualies, do love it. They've reduced the time between doing a dodge roll and being able to take another action by approximately half a second. That's huge, actually. That's a huge amount of time. So you're going to be a whole lot more fluid out of the dodge roll compared to what you were before. I really like Dowser Dualies, dude. I really, really like Dowser Dualies, dude. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this weapon. I love using it whenever I get to, so you're gonna see me using it a bit again, just to get a feel for it. Tenterbrella has also got a buff, I believe. Reduced the amount of ink consumed by launching the canopy by approximately 23%. Yo, wait, no, that's actually huge. That allows you just to be able to shoot a whole lot more out of your tent shields now. 23% is a large number to be able to save when you're coming out of your tent shield. That's huge, actually. That's very, very nice. Yeah, no, I really like this one because I feel like I've always felt like the Tenterbrella like runs out of ink really, really quickly, especially when you're shooting your shield. And I always felt like you had to put a bunch of main saver on just to be able to keep it up straight. So, yeah, it being able to now take a whole lot less ink, that's actually really nice. You could still put main saver on, and it probably feel even nicer now. So. Yeah, that's a good change. Really like that one. Dino Roller lessen the effect of ink consumption reduction when equipping the Ink Saver main ability. So I don't like it when they do these nerfs for specifically Ink Saver main or Ink Saver sub, because personally for me, I just think it makes it just so confusing. You know, they've done this before with specifically Burst Bomb, and it's when you apply Ink Saver sub to a Burst Bomb weapon, it just doesn't save as much. But I don't like it because it's just like, it's not consistent for all sub weapons that are in the game, and with this, it's not consistent with all like main weapons in the game. It's like certain main weapons will be good with Ink Saver main and some will not, and it's just not the same consistent rate of how much you're saving, you know. It's just, I don't like it when they do stuff like this. I'm not really a fan. It's a nerf to the Dynamo Roller, and it's gonna make the Dynamo Roller swing a whole lot less. It's just, I don't know. Maybe people counteract this by using more ink recovery just so they can recover the ink faster and then get another swing off, but I'm not a fan. I don't like it when they do this type of nerf. It just makes it more confusing, and for someone that doesn't play a lot of Splatoon, it's just like, it just makes it like, why, you know? It just makes it like, why, man? So either way, special weapons, there's only one. This is actually a pretty big change because the Ultra Stamp has been slamming people by a lot. Well, especially with its crazy projectile. They've reduced it a little bit, so just to read the patch notes off, decreased the radius of the 220 damage area of explosion at the point of impact when throwing it, the stamp, by approximately 10%. So by 10%, I think this is actually pretty welcome. It's basically, they're reducing it a little bit than before, because like, I mean, before it was like a projectile demon. You know, you'd throw an Ultra Stamp near someone and they just never would die. And it would have to be really, really direct. But, you know, reducing it just a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit crazy in terms of like how you could take out your opponents with the Ultra Stamp. I'm welcome to that. That's pretty cool. We got some special point changes as well. Starting off with the Splatter Shot. The Splatter Shot has actually been reduced from 210 to 200. Welcome change. The Sploosh-O-Matic has been nerfed. From 180 to 190, because of course the Ultra Stamp was strong. Splash-O-Matic 200 to 210. About time, geez, we've been waiting for that. Lunar Blaster Neo to 180 to 190. That's definitely very fair. Blaster and Custom Blaster from 180 to 190 as well. A lot of blaster nerfs here. Rapid Blaster Pro Deco as well, 190 to 200. Yep. Dynamo Roller 190 to 200. Yep, that also makes sense. Inkbrush Nouveau, that's a Ultra Stamp, of course. 180 to 190. Heavy Splattering Gap, definitely 200 to 210. That makes sense. Dapple Dualies, not even surprised. 170 to 180. That was like very, very quick. And Splat Dualies as well, 190 to 200, which is interesting for Crab Tank. So, yeah, that's some really interesting main weapon changes and special weapons changes. You know, there's nothing super extravagant in terms of this, but I just wanted to mention it. I mean, besides, I think, like, the Dowser Dualies, that's something I'm really looking forward to trying out. But out of everything here, besides, like, I know, Dowser Dualies and Tentabrella, I mean, of course, nerf to Dynamo Roll as well, I don't really think there's anything too extravagant and too game-changing. It's just, like, it makes a couple of things feel a little bit nicer, which is nice. Ultra Stamp being nerfed is also very nice, too. But there's also another thing which I'm going to read out. They've done some changes to X Battle, which is always welcome. But I mean, I think there's some really interesting things, specifically to Tender Tech Division, which is the EU-NA region. Basically, if you have 2,000 power, or if you have less than 2,000 power, then you're more likely to play against people. Well, despite that, like, it doesn't matter, so it just helps the matchmaking out a little bit more. There's actually another change here that I really, really like. I actually skimmed through this as well. If I can find it. Here it is. We have changed the system to make it so that players more frequently battle with the weapons of similar preferred ranges regardless of groups, in order to reduce the likelihood of players' weapons always being pitted against weapons, yeah, of course, against weapons with a longer range or shorter preferred range, with whatever. This, sorry, I didn't even read the last part out properly, but like, this is a really, really big change for X Battle, because hopefully what that would mean is that if you're trying to use Squiffer inside X Battle, then you're not going to be like grouped up against charges or an E-liter or a sniper or anything like that. Maybe they're gonna like use a different weapon. Like, maybe if you're using a Squiffer, you get paired up against like something like a Squeezer or something that's mid-range or anything like that. Like, I hope that's the case, because I'm not gonna lie, it was just so ridiculously unfair. And there are other sorts of cases in X Battle as well, where it's just like your weapon is in a certain group and it's always gonna pin that weapon against another, I guess, weapon that's in that group as well. And some weapons just have a better matchup and some weapons just don't have a better matchup. And it's just like, if I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. But that's the thing. Like, it's just so annoying that that's even a thing. So yeah, I really welcome this change. This is such a good change to X Battle. This is actually one of the changes that probably will make me want to play X Battle more, because I really disliked how it, like, weapons were grouped up against each other, and it's just like either you're playing mirror matches and it's just boring. So Yeah, that's very, very good. And of course, just being able to play against people a whole lot more often, that's very, very good as well, especially if you're in the EU and a region, which I play in, of course, so keep it populated. But yeah, that's pretty much the main changes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you guys have anything in the comment section below to let me know what you guys think of the changes, let me know, of course. I would love to hear you guys' discussion about it, because there's only so much here. There is only so much here. So I just wanted to put that out there just to give you guys my thoughts. I mean, my thoughts so far is just that there's only so much here. X-Battle changes are good. What's it called? The Bamboozler, Dazzle Doolies, and Tenebrella look really interesting. And Dynamo is nerfed. So that's what we got. That is what we got. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to try out this patch on Thursday, I guess, because I'm not going to wake up for this. I'll play it. I'm playing in the morning. I can't. I'm not going to stay up for this kind of patch. So either way, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I shall see you guys in a future video.